The concept of open world games has been around for over 40 years. Yeah, a lot longer than most of you probably. And let's just say they've come a long way since the days of adventure on the Atari 2600. Fast forward to today, and we're getting worlds almost as realistic as our own. Keep watching because we're going to dive into 26 of those right now. Elden Ring is an absolute no-brainer for the majority of gamers. This game is something truly special. It took the From Software formula, combat, cryptic lore, tight level design, and blew it wide open. And instead of collapsing under that ambition, it thrived. You step out of a cave and into the lands between. No map markers, no glowing breadcrumbs, just a tree the size of a mountain in the distance, and a nagging feeling that everything around you wants you dead. But you push forward, and suddenly this dense, interconnected world starts unfolding. The thing is, everything is handcrafted. You stumble on a hidden village underground, a poison lake filled with the remains of a forgotten cult, or a tower puzzle that unlocks more than it seems. And just when you think you've seen it all, the game pulls the rug out and opens up a whole new region you didn't know existed. Combat is still classic Souls, punishing but fair. But you've got more tools now. Magic, stealth, horseback fighting, and amazing world design and verticality. The freedom extends to how you play, and that's what makes Elden Ring's world so intoxicating. It's open, but so compact. Let me know what you think. But next, we're going to visit the colorful and vibrant world of Pandora. And this one's as visually impressive as you'd expect for a game based on the Avatar films. In Frontiers of Pandora, you play as a Na'vi, exploring the western frontier, a new region teeming with life and danger. The game captures the essence of the films, with towering trees, bioluminescent flora, and those trademark hues of green and blue. Gameplay-wise, it's a first-person action adventure that emphasizes exploration and survival. You need to adapt to the environment, using stealth and strategy to take down RDA forces. The narrative centers around reclaiming your heritage and protecting Pandora from exploitation, resonating with the franchise's core message of humans equals bad, aliens equals good. While it doesn't reinvent the open world genre, this is a game that a lot of people are sleeping on.
Are you in trouble? Do you need money?
Marvel's Spider-Man swings into action with a near-perfect recreation of New York City, offering a true open-world experience. Playing as Peter Parker, you navigate the city with fluid web-slinging mechanics that make traversal an art form in itself. Combat's pretty solid in this one too, combining acrobatics, gadgets, and Spidey's signature agility to create engaging encounters. You've got your side missions and collectibles as you'd expect, but they're pretty well integrated, and doesn't just feel monotonous. This one sets a high bar for superhero games, delivering a compelling story, satisfying gameplay, and an open world that feels polished. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the character, give this one a try. But before you do that, my subscriber senses are tingling. So please hit that subscribe and let us know what you think so far.
Miles!
We've got a game that's always split the community. Death Stranding. Now it's back, bigger, bolder, and weirder than ever before with its sequel Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Sam Porter Bridges heads deep into post-apocalyptic Mexico and Australia, reconnecting a shattered world through the chiral network. Kojima's team has cranked everything up. Faster movement, tighter combat, and signature blend of action, stealth, and strand systems feel more refined than ever. The visuals are stunning on PS5, but it's the storytelling that hits hardest. Strange, emotional, unforgettable, classic Kojima in the best way. You'll be laying roads, facing off against terrifying new BTs, and pushing through some of the most atmospheric landscapes in gaming. It's a bold reinvention on the Strand genre. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, keep on keeping on. Oblivion's back, and it looks like it finally stopped eating mud for breakfast. The remaster brings sharp lighting, clean textures, and updated faces that don't look like melted wax statues. Cyrodiil actually looks like a place you'd explore, not a dream you had during a fever. Combat's still janky, dialogue still hits that weird Bethesda rhythm, but somehow it all clicks. You're swinging swords, shouting at cultists, stealing from nobles, same chaos, new coat of paint. The nostalgia hits different when the trees sway properly and the water reflects more than just your regrets. It's Oblivion, but it no longer fights you every time you load a save.
Of my life.
Let's go back to Japan now, but this time we're taking you to the neon-lit streets of 1980s Tokyo, offering a unique open-world experience that blends intense action with quirky side activities. In Yakuza 0, you alternate between two protagonists, Kazuma Kiryu and Goro Majima, each with distinct fighting styles and storylines that intertwine. The game's world is dense and vibrant, filled with mini-games, side quests, and colorful characters that add humor. From managing a cabaret club to engaging in dance battles, the variety in this game makes it a joy to play. The story delves into themes of loyalty, honor, and the complexities of the criminal underworld, and the combat is typically satisfying. Yakuza 0 stands out to me for its ability to balance serious storytelling with the typical absurdity you get with these games, making it a must-play for those seeking a different flavor of open-world adventure. This is one of those games where you don't fast travel. Not because it's inconvenient, but because riding across the world feels good. From misty mountains to desert ruins, Horizon Forbidden West might be one of the most visually gorgeous open worlds ever put together. But it's not just a pretty face. It's dense, detailed, and packed with things to do. You play as Aloy again, navigating a post-apocalypse where nature's taken back the land, and robot dinosaurs roam free like it's normal. And yeah, combat is still super strategic and fun, especially when you're figuring out how to dismantle a giant mechanical thunderjaw, using nothing but tricked out arrows and your wits. The real joy though is the world building. You'll run into abandoned tech labs that tell their own stories, factions with their own messy agendas, and side quests that aren't always boring. It's a place you want to explore, and climbing a tall neck just to reveal the map, still cool, still satisfying.
All we have to do is deliver a letter to Lord Otto.
Kingdom Come 2 is grounded in a way most open worlds aren't. No dragons, no magic spells, just medieval Europe at its grimiest and most unforgiving. And somehow that makes it fascinating. You're not a chosen one here, you're a blacksmith's son, tossed into a messy political world after your village gets burned down. And everything, from the swordplay to how you ride a horse, is grounded in realism. You have to learn things, you have to earn your victories, and honestly, that makes the payoff way sweeter. The game is extremely realistic and immersive. You'll walk through a muddy alley and overhear people gossiping about things you did. You'll stumble across a monastery and end up having to blend in as a monk for an entire quest line. It's immersive in the way few games dare to be. Compared to the first game, it's better in pretty much every aspect. The choices feel heavier. It's shaping up to be the kind of open world that's not about icons on a map. It's about stories that just happen while you're trying to survive.
Cruelty.
There's not a lot left to say about Minecraft that hasn't already been said, but somehow it still deserves a spot on this list. You want open-ended? This game is the definition. Minecraft isn't an open world in the Ubisoft checklist sense. There's no HUD telling you where to go, no glowing markers pushing you forward, it's just you, a pickaxe, and a world that stretches infinitely in every direction. Do you want to build a castle? Go for it. Do you want to terraform an entire mountain because it's in the way? Being free to do anything you want is the beauty of Minecraft. And even after all these years, it still evolves. With every update, Mahjong adds something new that changes the game just enough to make you want to start a fresh world. Whether it's underground cave networks, terrifying warden encounters, or redstone contraptions that are basically functioning computers, it's a sandbox where the rules are yours to bend. Next up, a cult favorite, and a game that came out of nowhere. When Valheim came out, suddenly everybody was wearing fur capes and talking about Viking longboats. It's got that survival game DNA, but mixed in with this weirdly chill, kind of spiritual vibe. You wake up in a purgatory-like Norse realm, and the game just lets you figure things out. No long tutorials, no annoying pop-ups. You cut trees, fight trolls, and build a hall worthy of Odin. The exploration here is top tier. Sailing across open waters and spotting a smoky coastline in the distance gives you that feeling. The "I wonder what's over there" itch. Valheim proves that an open world doesn't need photorealism or massive cities. Sometimes all it takes is mood, mystery, and a well-timed troll ambush. This one's underrated, but it's a game we like to feature a lot on GameWise. I'm talking about Mad Max. Now it might be a bit older now, but its open world gets the tone of what a game should be. It's hot, brutal, dusty. Every rust-covered car and sun-bleached rock feels like it belongs. We've got to mention the combat on this one. Think the Arkham games, but more chunky and weighty. You're Max, surviving in the wasteland with a shotgun, fists, and a car that basically is your soulmate. And the driving is what makes this game tick. You build up your magnum opus, customize it, and then take it into deadly convoys and chases across the sand. It's vehicular mayhem done right. So yeah, if you missed this one, it's absolutely worth circling back to. It's a harsh world, but it's one that sticks with you. Now let's quickly talk about instant gaming. The best way to get your games for less money than you would from retail. Whether it's new releases, bestsellers, or upcoming pre-orders, you'll find them at a discount for PC, PlayStation, and more. Unlike shady key marketplaces, instant gaming only sells game keys from authorized resellers, so you're getting legit products at great prices. Plus, with a top Trustpilot rating and 24/7 customer support, you can buy with confidence. Personally, I've been using this service for a while and always had a great experience. That's why we're happy to partner with them. Check out Instant Gaming through the link in the description and start saving today.
They had hope. But soon, one vision broke into many different ones.
Dying Light 2's open world is like a playground built on broken glass. It's dangerous, vertical, and packed full of zombies, constantly trying to kill you, which weirdly makes it awesome. You're parkouring through an infested city, leaping from rooftop to rooftop like it's a daily commute. The traversal is the star here, fluid, fast, and fun. But once the sun sets, the game changes. Nighttime in Dying Light isn't just a visual shift. It becomes a full-on horror game. Stronger infected come out, your tools become limited, and the tension skyrockets. What makes this open world special is how it's built around movement. You start out clunky, scared to leave the safe zones, but by the end you're stringing together wall runs, vaults, and grapples like a parkour god. Some of the stories here are surprisingly solid, with characters that don't just exist to give you errands. My only critique with this one is that it's a little too short, which isn't always a bad thing.
Warn me about what?
Now for another awesome zombie game. Days Gone kinda flew under the radar when it launched. Technical issues, rough reviews, and comparisons to other open world games didn't help. But if you actually sat down with it, you'd find something surprisingly compelling underneath the grime. You play as Deacon St. John, ex-biker survivor and all-around reluctant hero, riding through a post-apocalyptic Oregon on your motorcycle. And the bike isn't just a vehicle, it's your lifeline. You have to keep it fueled, repaired, and upgraded, which creates this constant push and pull between freedom and survival. Want to explore a creepy sawmill filled with infected? Better make sure you've got enough gas to get back out. What makes Days Gone work is the atmosphere. There's a loneliness to it, a sense that the world moved on and left you behind. There are pockets of humanity still trying to hold things together. Is it perfect? Nah. But there's something to be said for a game that's rough around the edges but full of heart. Days Gone isn't just another zombie game. It's a road trip through the end of the world, with desperation riding shotgun.
Happens here is far better than what's going on out there.
Breath of the Wild is one of those rare games that push the boundaries of what open world could mean. And it did it by not hand-holding. You leave the Great Plateau and boom, the world invites you in. Also like Elden Ring in a way. There's no blinking lights telling you where to go. You see something cool in the distance, a weird tower, a weird rock formation, a weird thing you can't quite describe, and your instinct is to walk there. And that's the magic. Curiosity drives everything. The systems in this game are just ridiculously interconnected. You can light grass on fire, use the wind to ride your glider, then drop bombs midair to chain it into some wild physics-based takedown. And yeah, the world feels like it's been lived in. Shrines dot the landscape, but so do strange NPCs with side quests that feel like glimpses into a larger culture. It's a sandbox where everything matters. Now for a game you perhaps didn't expect to see on this list. On paper, Nier Automata's open world doesn't sound revolutionary, but in practice, it's one of the most emotionally layered and mind-bending spaces you'll ever explore. You play as androids, 2B and 9S, fighting in a post-human Earth full of haunting ruins and creeping dread. The world isn't huge, but it's dense with atmosphere. Deserts with buried secrets, cities overgrown with greenery, abandoned amusement parks that feel both eerie and kind of beautiful. Combat is fast, stylish, and weirdly elegant. Platinum Games nailed it. But what really makes the open world stick is how it serves the story. There are hidden messages, secret endings, bizarre NPCs who drop philosophical bombs mid-quest. And sometimes the world changes subtly as the story shifts, making you wonder everything you thought you knew. Nier's open world isn't about freedom for freedom's sake. It's about guiding you through an experience you feel more than understand. And honestly, that's what makes it unforgettable.
Seeing this a lot lately. Couldn't tell you why though.
You can practically smell the dust and whiskey in this one. Red Dead Redemption 2 might be the most realistic open world ever created. Not in a look how many polygons kind of way, in how it behaves. Everything is reactive. Every NPC has a schedule. Every animal is part of the food chain. You could spend hours just fishing, hunting, or riding your horse through foggy swamplands, and it'd feel like time well spent. Play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw with a soul, caught between loyalty and survival. And that tension bleeds into everything, from robbing trains to sitting around a campfire with your gang.
Up that way, Micah.
It's bursting with detail, and it remembers what you do. Rockstar didn't rush the pace. It trusts you to slow down, take it in, live in it. Red Dead 2 is less about checking off missions and more about existing in the world. It's one of the few games that actually makes that feel rewarding. No Man's Sky went from being the poster child for overhype to one of the greatest comeback stories in gaming. And now, it's genuinely one of the most ambitious open worlds or open galaxies ever made. You start with a ship, a multi-tool, and a mystery. Then you realize the scale. Planets, star systems, black holes. It's procedurally generated. That doesn't mean it's empty. There are oceans full of bizarre life forms, derelict freighters drifting in space, and alien civilizations to communicate with or shoot. What really sells it is the sense of discovery. Building your base on a toxic planet because the sunsets are pretty? Sure. Become a space trucker? This game gives you the freedom. Not only that, it encourages you to use it in weird and personal ways. With constant updates adding story content, co-op, VR, and even living ships, it's a galaxy that somehow keeps getting better.
Take this. It's Wiggenweld potion. That stuff.
Say what you want about lore baggage, but Hogwarts Legacy nails the dream of exploring a wizarding world. From the moment you step into the castle, it's clear the devs were obsessed with making everything feel authentic. Every hallway in Hogwarts is brimming with detail. Moving staircases, hidden rooms, talking paintings, it's packed. But what's cool is that it doesn't stop there. You can leave the castle, hop on a broom, and glide across the Scottish Highlands like it's no big deal. Then suddenly you're rescuing hippogriffs, brewing potions in a forest cabin, and stumbling onto a dark arts cave system. The combat's surprisingly punchy too. Spells snap with weight, and stringing them together in duels feels more like an action game than you'd expect. There's crafting, there's looting, there's even creature collecting. It's got layers.
Checkmate.
It might not reinvent the genre, but it doesn't have to. Hogwarts Legacy works because it's immersive, stylish, and just fun to be in. And for a lot of people, that's more than enough. Our next game, Ghost of Tsushima, doesn't waste your time. It's one of those rare open worlds where every single moment feels like it's there for a reason. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai struggling with honor and survival during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima. And the world around him, it's gorgeous, melancholic, and surprisingly peaceful, even when it's tearing itself apart. You've got your katanas, stances, and gadgets. There's a real rhythm to the combat. Sure, you can run and swing, but the game rewards precision. The kind of thing where one perfect parry is worth more than 10 wild swings. Me personally, I'm a fan of the throwing weapons. But it's not all blade fights and haikus. There's a story here about tradition versus change, about how far you're willing to go to save your home, even if it means becoming something your ancestors wouldn't recognize. It hits harder than you'd expect, especially as Jin slowly lets go of who he was. Even years later, Tsushima's world holds up, and if Ghost of Yotei doesn't seem like your jam, this is the samurai game for you.
I love you. Both of you.
We love you too. Oh my god!
Fallout 4 doesn't get love from fans quite like New Vegas due to its dialogue system, but it made up for it with one thing: a wasteland that's fun to exist in. The Commonwealth isn't just some scorched desert, it's a weird, colorful, broken sandbox full of stories waiting to be unearthed. The game throws you into post-apocalyptic Boston as a parent searching for their missing kid. But like every Fallout, the main story is kind of just a suggestion. What really sticks are the side quests, stumbling into a vault where people experimented with paranoia, or following the trail of a vigilante robot named the Silver Shroud. That's the juice. There's just something about wandering into a ruined diner, finding an audio log, and suddenly you're caught in a whole subplot. That's Fallout magic. The stories you stumble into while chasing something else entirely, and don't get me started on the base building. I think I spent more time doing that than playing the actual game. Plus you can mod the heck out of it too.
If you need potions, you should try
Skyrim, well, it's Skyrim. You already know the memes, the re-releases, the mods, but at its core, it's still one of the most freeing open world experiences ever made. You step out of Helgen, and the snow hits your face and boom, go wherever you want. Join the Thieves Guild, slay dragons, become a vampire or a werewolf or both. The game doesn't care, it just asks. So what kind of chaos do you feel like today? Combat's not amazing, but it works. Honestly, it's the exploration that keeps people coming back. Dungeons everywhere, weird ruins, that feeling of walking into a cave and not knowing if you'll come out rich, cursed, or married to a Daedra. We've used some heavily modded footage in these clips, so expect the console version to be a little janky and dated, but somehow, it still rules. At this point, Witcher 3 is basically a required play for open world fans. It's not just absolutely huge, it's smart. Every side quest is written with perfect detail and feels like a story in itself. You'll set out to find a frying pan and end up knee-deep in a murder mystery. CD Projekt Red made a world that's grim, grounded, and packed with consequence. You're Geralt, grizzled monster hunter with 2 swords and 0 patience, searching for your adopted daughter. But the real magic is in what happens along the way. A war-torn village hiding a tragic secret, a wedding that turns into ghost busting, even contracts, which could have been basic fetch quests, turn into moral puzzles. Combat's may be showing its age a little, but it's fast, flashy, and layered. The real draw here is the story. Novigrad's full of political scheming. Skellige's rough and mythic, and Blood and Wine, that expansion alone is better than most full games. Cyberpunk had a rough debut, no denying it, but after updates, DLC, and Phantom Liberty, it's finally the game you should now be looking at adding to your list of completed games. Night City is jaw-droppingly detailed. Neon alleys, corporate towers, grime, and luxury mashed together. It's not a wide-open space like Skyrim or Zelda. It's dense. Every corner feels curated, like someone built it with a story in mind. You're V, Merc, Rebel, whatever you make them, dealing with body mods, AI ghosts, and choices that carry emotional weight. The quests aren't fluff, they're honestly some of the best I've ever played. The late game story writing here is off the charts. The quests carry weight, sometimes heartbreak. Give this one at least 10 hours to hook you, because when it does, it hooks you hard.
Put it to someone's head. Pull the trigger.
Enshrouded is still in early access, but it's already one of those open world survival games that feels different. You're dropped into a dying world swallowed by this creeping mist. And it's not just a visual effect. The fog kills you if you're not careful. And the deeper you go, the more it pushes back. The hook is this blend of survival and action RPG. You're building bases, gathering gear, leveling up. There's also a real-time combat with dodging, parrying, spells, and giant monsters. It's like Minecraft collided with Valheim and then borrowed some Souls-like spice. What makes the world work is how vertical and mysterious it is. Climbing, gliding, digging tunnels to get around the deadly fog. Every time you explore, it feels like you're carving out a safe space in a world that doesn't want you there. It's early, sure, but it's one to watch. Sleeping Dogs didn't get the love it deserved when it launched, but man, this one's a gem. Imagine GTA, but set in a neon-soaked Hong Kong, and instead of gunfights, you're doing brutal hand-to-hand combat like you're in a Jackie Chan movie. In this one, you play as Wei Shen, an undercover cop walking a razor edge between the triads and the badge. The story gets dark, but the world, it's tight, stylish, and just fun to explore. You're weaving through traffic on a motorcycle, chasing crooks on foot, busting into clubs, all with this slick kung fu flair. People absolutely rave about this one, and once you play it, you'll see why. It's not huge, but it's dense, and it makes every block feel packed with potential chaos. Let's check out Ubisoft's latest Assassin's Creed title with Assassin's Creed Shadows. This one takes the franchise to the 16th century Japan, offering a brand new setting and dual protagonists, Yasuke and Naoi. This dynamic duo provides contrast in play styles, brute strength versus stealth precision, allowing players to approach missions in varied ways. The open world is really nicely done, with seasonal changes affecting gameplay. Winter freezes lakes, opening new paths, while spring brings dense foliage for stealth. This environmental interactivity adds a lot of depth to exploration and situational awareness. Combat has also been refined a lot in this one too, blending traditional Assassin's Creed mechanics with new features like breakable objects and enhanced parkour, including a grappling hook for vertical traversal, Sekiro style. The game also introduces a spy network system, enabling players to gather intelligence and plan assassinations more effectively. At first, I wasn't sure if I would like it as much as Odyssey, but after getting into it, it's probably my favorite Creed game so far.
Sit down and face forward. Now, I don't have a lot of time. I know you need money.
At this point, GTA 5 is less a game and more a cultural landmark. But even a decade later, that open world is still worth experiencing again and again. Los Santos is chaotic, hilarious, and absurdly detailed. You can fly a fighter jet into a mountain, steal a tank, or just hang out playing tennis. It's wild. Story-wise, it's a satirical crime spree starring three lunatics with wildly different vibes. And flipping between them never gets old. One minute you're doing a heist as Michael, next you're watching Trevor lose his mind in the desert. It's an absolute classic. Now's the time to play it again too, with GTA 6 coming out soon. Online, whole different beast. Messy, chaotic, sometimes unplayable but packed with content. And somehow it's still growing. If you haven't soared over Gotham's skyline and Arkham Knight, you're missing out. The Arkham series finale gave us a huge, dense Gotham City, filled with thugs to punch and Riddler trophies to, well, suffer through. The Batmobile is divisive, sure, but there's no denying the thrill of tearing through the streets as the Dark Knight. What really elevates Arkham Knight is how it layers tension and storytelling into every corner of Gotham. Scarecrow's fear toxin looms over the city, and as Batman, you're fighting to keep your mind intact. The psychological stakes are as high as the physical ones, with the moments that challenge what it means to wear the cowl. Kevin Conroy's and Mark Hamill's performances hit just as hard, bringing both Batman and Joker to life in unforgettable ways. The side missions deserve a mention too, weaving Gotham's most notorious rogues into the world seamlessly. Tracking down Firefly as he sets the city ablaze, or unraveling the mystery behind a series of gruesome murders adds depth and urgency to your role as the world's greatest detective. Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid 5 is proof that an open-world game can be both brilliant and bizarre. It's a sandbox that encourages creativity, experimentation, and the occasional questionable decision, like attaching balloons to goats for no apparent reason. Don't ask. The gameplay is where the game truly shines, whether you're sneaking through Afghan outposts or orchestrating elaborate distractions. Every mission feels like a puzzle with a dozen solutions. Want to quietly take out guards and slip by unnoticed? Go for it. Want to storm the gates like a one-person army? Sure, but good luck dealing with the consequences. This game rewards clever thinking and punishes recklessness, but it's always entertaining to see how far you can push your luck. Hope you enjoyed this one, folks. Leave a like if you did, and catch us in the next video. 21 RPGs worth spending 100 hours in. See ya!